that's where I learned my eye for extreme detail, which is such an important part of a stylist job. And as boring as I say to say it boring as e-commerce skills can get, it gave me that eye that I needed to succeed in this industry, because when you're on a set and you fix something for a photographer, you can save so much time for whoever you're working for, the client, and just produce such better images. So that's where I got my start, and then I started doing more e-commerce on model and clothing shoots for brands, a lot of accessory brands, highlighting, you know, what's the best look that can complement their accessories and not overpower them. And so e-commerce is really my background, but editorial and doing those creative shoots is so much fun too. That's what fills the soul, I feel, as far as styling goes.
I absolutely love that. So let me ask you this. If you had one item in your closet that you can style in any given way, any direction, up, down, in between, what would that be? And what kind of stuff would you do with it?
That's a great question. If it's not my Bears jacket that I'm wearing right now, I'm definitely going to say leather. I have reused some of my leather jackets and pieces in so many of my shoots. Again and again, if you look at my portfolio really closely, you can kind of see there's some items repeated, and that's what sustainability looks like in this industry. It's maybe not, you know, the glossy image of Hollywood, but it is real. As a consumer, you rewear things multiple times, so I would definitely say anything leather that's going to last forever.
Absolutely love that. We all have that one thing that we love to just play dress up with, and I love that. That's amazing. So the next question I have for you is, when it comes to styling and when it comes to sourcing your garments, what would you say is the path for you? Because specifically, since you are a sustainable stylist, what would you say is your #1 source of acquiring your pieces?
Absolutely. It always depends on the client and, of course, their brief and what they're going for. But whenever I can sneak in a vintage garment, I think that is always something I'm going to do. Not only is it sustainable, but it also brings, I think, a richer history to, let's say, a photo that might otherwise look flat with, let's say, a shirt from Amazon. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, using a shirt from Amazon and steaming it up. It doesn't look like you just unfolded it out of the package. We've all seen people with that. Sorry, I have to mention it. But when you bring something vintage or something secondhand, I feel like it comes with more personality and it adds a dimension to the shoot that someone else might not catch.
Absolutely love that, and I totally agree with you 100% about how much of another component that adds into it when you do something special, when you bring something that is thrifted, that is vintage, you just add a little bit twist to the actual product. So now, do you want to show us a little something something?
Yes, of course. And Sydney's going to be our amazing assistant here.
Let's do it. So Sydney, our gorgeous model here, is going to be dressing up in Courtney's styling attire here.
Oh my God! Wow.
Okay, so when it comes to styling, this is a little bit of an interesting formula that we're doing. We're not actually sitting here and speaking. We're actually going to do a little interactive moment here where Courtney is going to pick from her rack of vintage pieces and is going to actually style Sydney with certain garments and showcase to all of you how you can use specific pieces that are thrifted, that are vintage, into making an outfit go from one way to a completely different direction. As you see here, Sydney already has a really cool kick-ass outfit on right now, and then Courtney is just like adding it by switching it up with a different kind of a belt and switching the whole look by one little component can go from one way to another way. Don't you agree?
So Sydney's outfit was very like festival chic, and then we added the Western concho belt and it took it kind of to a more Western element. And we have one more actually addition for this look too.
Amazing. Let's see where she's going to take it there. The fun thing about styling and the fun thing about playing dress up, and specifically in the sustainable world, one thing as a stylist is that your closets are also your personal shops, and you can just grab something that is fantastic and amazing, a hand-me-down from grandma, something that you bought at a thrift store, and you can switch it up and jazz it up and make the outfit look completely night and day different by adding this little touch to it.
And this actually is Grandma's faux fur coat, so that was actually right on point. And so now Sydney looks like more she's ready to be in a hip hop video or something a little bit more streetwear. She's got the vibe going with the backwards hat, so it really just takes a few simple elements to take a look in a completely different direction.
Exactly, just like that. It's a couple of components that just switches things up and makes it into a whole new flair. Now, with that being said, some of the pieces that makes and breaks an outfit are what, would you say, Courtney? If you were to pick about things that really take an outfit to the next level or also drown out an outfit.
Totally. I definitely think when I'm working with clients, the big thing is to accessorize. A lot of, especially in e-commerce applications, may not want accessories to distract from the product. But I think actually adding on a few elements really can take a shoot to the next level and also give it something for the consumer to look at. And as far as editorial accessories, there are really no limits. You can see Sydney's here got her vintage watches and belts and charms and rings. And it adds so much texture and so much movement. And even like the noise of it is so beautiful. I think it creates fashion into art.
I love it, and I totally agree. So for all of you out there, if you didn't know this by now, fashion is art. It's walking, moving art that you can touch and feel and wear and love. One thing about garments and one thing about the beautiful part of sustainability is getting the pre-loved garments and giving it a new set of love by switching it up, by adding, subtracting, making something amazing out of it. And that's something that I think is probably the core of what you do for your styling.
Yes, I would definitely agree. I think styling is its own art form. It can be very technical, like I mentioned with my history. It can also be something that is so playful and so almost like childlike. And it's wonder of like putting two things together that might look, that a toddler might look like they would do. But actually sometimes they work and they create the most beautiful editorial images. And all I hope to do is just expand my imagination and create beautiful things.
Absolutely, I love it. Give it up to Courtney, everybody. Give her a round.
Yeah, Courtney!
Sustainable stylist, amazing, doing amazing things. Courtney, give us a one last soundbite of who you are, what your brand is, where people can find you, and just a little closing statement for us.
Well, thank you so much, Shifteh, for all of your beautiful questions, and Sydney for being here, being our model tonight. Thank you everyone so much for listening. My name is Courtney Davila. You can find me on Instagram at @CourtStylist, and my website, if you want to view my portfolio and see some of the beautiful things on this rack styled up, www.CourtneyDavila.com. I'd love to hear a message from you. My DMs are open, and I love helping with people in this industry.
Yeah!
Amazing. Give it up to Courtney, everybody. Come on, round of applause.
Yeah, Courtney.
Thank you. Go grab your drinks and stand by for the next part of our showcase.